We know that consumers are more connected than ever before. That's not big news to anyone here. So this presentation is about how to cut through the crap. That's a technical term. How to get through to consumers in a world that's constantly and consistently in flux. We're going to talk about socialization, personalization, and responsiveness. And I'm really hoping I've got some slides. There we go. OK, awesome. So I have 3 sections to this presentation, each of which have 5 points in 15 minutes. The maths geniuses among you will know that that's a minute per point, so we're going to go fast. We're talking about social. We're talking about fans and fandoms. We're talking about what the social cell really looks like in 2015 and beyond. We're talking a little bit about seduction. That's the sexy bit. A bit about conversation, and a bit about the incoming and uploading world of social loyalty. Now, why does social still matter? Because you have a device in your pocket, or possibly in your hand, that connects you to the entirety of human knowledge. And you use it to look at videos of dogs falling off tables and to get into arguments with people you don't know. This is because social has enabled us to bring our passions to the world. In a world of Tumblr tribes and Pinterest hoarders, there are trans-global obsessions, which means that demographics are dissolving and people are grouped by interest, not by age. So that means brands have to be part of a conversation, not a hijacking. Social selling has to be more subtle, more sophisticated. These images are partly from stylists and partly from brands. Can you tell which is which? Influencers, indeed, have become sellers. Bonnie Strange's shit shop just up the road. Social media platforms are morphing into click-to-buy inspiration pools with like to know it and like to buy. But these are still not seamless, and we need better technologies to get into our worlds. Yes, Marc Jacobs was early to make his Instagram shoppable, but it's still delivered in an email. For Generation Z, that's our kind of 5 to 19-year-olds, email is almost largely irrelevant. It's described as all the other shit that other people want you to do. How are brands going to interact with the new instant seamless messaging that is the absolute cri de coeur of that generation? The best brand ecosystems echo existing communication behaviors and give a bonus, like Net-a-Porter's NetSet, which is an app that merges with a host of preoccupations in one neat package, creating profiles, sharing visuals, shopping all in the app, following other users, brands, and style tribes, and fashion influencers. And these communities are hugely important because it indulges our narcissism. So next time you take a selfie, you're not actually taking a selfie, you're indulging your narcissism, darling. For today's teens, tomorrow's consumers, it's not about everyone being famous for 15 minutes. It's about everyone being famous to 15 people. So we need apps and services and branding and communication that leverages this. Whether that's Primania from Primark or Saks Style or Made.com's slightly creepy ability to nose around your neighbors' houses and look what furniture they've bought. It's all about encouraging users to show off to each other. We just heard about Olympic. ASOS and Designual have both used Olympic to trade on this narcissism, as has Christian Louboutin. These are interesting technologies for us to leverage. But what these shop anywhere innovations show is the hunger for socialized retail, but importantly, one where the consumer feels in control. So this is Victoria's Secret's WhatsApp-style messaging system within the Pink app. You can chat while receiving exclusive brand content, but you can access message boards, but you can, tapping into the behaviors that we see amongst younger consumers, you can have secret conversations that disappear and don't last. In a world of endless information and data, we created Twitter, where we only could communicate in 140 characters. In a world of endless memory, we've created apps like Snapchat, which disappear. We want this perishable, disappearable world. Even search tools are engaging with social playgrounds to shift sales. This is ASAP 54, letting you connect your own Instagram account to shop for items through your own pictures. And it's referencing similar visual-based services we've seen launched by Macy's and Neiman Marcus. And lastly, in this section, we really think that social loyalty is the next frontier that we need to talk about. This is the upside trialing an Instagram-powered beacon-enabled loyalty app within the department store Liberty in London. If you have the app and you walk around the store, it will tell you about offers related to brands that you follow on the system. And then those offers will appear in your own loyalty-based program within your phone. Most of the loyalty systems we see today have not been thought about with social in mind. This is a huge area ripe for disruption. So we've been social, let's get personal. We're looking at Generation DIY and Generation Z, the virtual revival of concierge culture, where wearables might fit in, digital exploration, and a bit of tailor-made sensations. The consumer desire to create is not going away. We've seen virtual ring stackers on Monica Vinader's site. We've seen Anya Heinmarch allowing you to customize product. The interface is digital, the product is leather. And this is a virtual expression of quite a traditional service, the concierge service, and it's becoming relevant to all markets. So on the one hand, you have Ask Zappos, take a picture of something and people on the other end will look for it. And on the other side, you've got Herrera Style, Caroline Herrera's app, first devised in 2014 as an exclusive one-to-one client-to-staff connector, but now being rolled out much more to help supply predicted preferences to subscribers. Some of these services are human at the back end, but it's interesting that they are all about leveraging loyalty. So there's Operator, run by Uber, trading on the same appetite for concierge-style services. It's a request network. Consumers are connected to operators who could be in-store staff, brand reps, or operator employees. They send a text and a picture message, people search for a product, and an I'll take it button means that you can shop for it instantly. And bloggers are trading on this idea as well, perhaps more in the beauty space than in the fashion. This is Tesco, the grocery store in the UK, enabling consumers to connect live for a 15 to 20-minute session with a beauty blogger and then receive an email of recommended products afterwards. In the future, we'll see this concierge mentality linked to the wearables that will become more prevalent in our clothing and our accessories. Why will my wearable technology not tell me when I need more vitamins, not tell me when my sneakers need replacing, and not tell me when and how they can deliver to me because they know where I am and where I'm going to be? Even fitting rooms are getting much more personalized. It's the law that you have to mention Rebecca Minkoff at a conference like this, so I'm just doing it here. But what's interesting, I think, about her store in New York is not just the touchscreen, but the way that you can change the ambience and the lighting within the fitting room to see how your outfit will look wherever you're going to be. There's plenty of room for personalization in the sort of pure fun marketing engagement arena as well. This is 7 for All Mankind, partnering with American virtual reality cinematic company Jaunt to create an immersive campaign video to promote its Spring 15 collection. The terrifying thing for someone like me about this kind of virtual and augmented reality is it's very difficult to photograph. So you get terrifying pictures of men with beards looking at iPhones and looking amazed. You just have to take my word for it that it's an amazing experience. So we've seen other brands embracing this kind of personalized exploration, whether it's Kenzo or Jimmy Choo or Show Studio. And explorative experiences are going to be hugely important because that's the counter trend to concierge culture. You've still got maker and DIY, do it myself, along with a much more nuanced and sophisticated understanding of do it for me. In future, personalization and virtual experiences will include a social aspect. So while we've seen Topshop use virtual reality to look at catwalks, in the future, these will be shoppable and shareable at the same time. And if you've got money to invest, put it in haptics, put it in touch. We desperately need better technology coming to market to enable us to virtually feel the quality, texture, and tenure of the products that we want to buy. So the final section is all about responsive retail that actually reacts to consumers in real time to boost relevance and excitement. This is all about in the moment and live action and real-time retailing, but also a little bit about delay and a little bit about shifting shapes. Now, the most basic version of real-time is exploiting in-the-moment inspiration, direct access to buying the moment it hits. This is Wirewax, a company working with retailers and TV and music producers, specializing in tools to allow shoppers to buy while watching content. This is for free people. Interesting. You're talking to an audience who's in a continual state of partial attention, and you need to get them while they're there. And there's plugging directly into the heart of a brand with the inside story that might be unfettered and unfiltered in a way that we've never seen before. Periscope and Meerkat-type live streaming apps are going to allow this and create content that is or is perceived to be much more real and authentic than the polished brand content we've seen before. These snippets are all about leveraging the power and the value of perishable moments, the buzz of now or never, the thrill of a live gig. Snapchat is perfect for this. We've seen it used at fashion shows. We've also seen Everlane linked together with the Our Stories version to create clues to a pop-up shop in New York through the 24-hour lasting Our Stories app that lasts longer than the regular Snapchat options. For brands, the perishable also fits perfectly at times when live trends are hugely important, like at the shows. Topshop has used a digital billboard to link what was trending with hashtags for people looking at the shows with what was already in store and buyable at that moment. Hunter has also used digital outdoor to leverage what people were talking about while they were showing Catwalk. The idea of trading on trends is so related to the idea of fear of missing out that we've all become so familiar with. There's this compulsive desire for information because we're so scared that we will be left behind. But theories of consumption still suggest that desire is as important as actually consuming in itself. That's why the idea of the waiting list, online or in store, or a feed of not commonly accessible information is hugely important. This has even popped up at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, who created a FOMO-mobile, a concept for a print magazine generated by gathering social media interactions aligned with specific hashtags. Other brands have connected this to ideas around drip-feeding information. So Rebecca Minkoff and Tommy Hilfiger partnering with companies specializing in high-definition film to create footage of their catwalk shows that aren't released immediately, but are released 40 to 50 days later, or when product drops in store, and with the ability to immerse yourself in the content through virtual reality. And geolocation can also be used to connect with this prospect of capturing the perishable moment. This is Swedish outdoor sports brand Peak Performance, creating virtual pop-up shops in beautiful situations on mountainsides and at lakes that are only visible when those situations are at their most beautiful, usually at daybreak or sunset. They're shoppable only at specific times of the day through your smartphone. And Facebook is also playing with this with place tips, this whole real-time location-specific content with its freshly announced idea. Nearby deals, landmarks, friends' recommendations, and places of interest will pop up as you move around your city, if you live in New York at the moment, that is. So where do we see this going? Well, on a more intimate level, we need more responsive e-commerce sites that shape-shift in front of us. This is eTail Group Shop Direct in the UK with their Very store. They say that they can already display 1.2 million different homepages, and they hope it'll be 3.5 million by the end of the year. It's a movement towards knowing that relevance wins in retail today. And why end with this? Because it's a concept that takes us full circle, talking about social, about personalized, and responsiveness. So how will tomorrow's leading brands communicate? How will they reach their customers? They'll use the power of now, Consumers are living in a world of instant communication, heavy with social media influence. Strategies entrenched in real-time events are going to have more powerful punch. Instantly shoppable experiences have to align with events. People have to personalize to remain relevant. It's a hygiene factor now. It's not an option. Consumers will expect their communications and retail technology that seamlessly learn in real time about them based on user information. Brands will have to cultivate a concierge culture, hitting all levels of the markets, integrated, dynamic, and intuitive, and backed by technology to feed the lust for immediate assistance and equal conversation. And brands obviously have to embrace the social sell, but they have to embrace it by thinking about fans and communities rather than consumers. For many people, a platform that raises their personal profile is more relevant than something that gives them a minor financial uplift. In the digital era of self-promotion, how can your brand spotlight and empower your consumers to do the work for you? Thank you.